What is up, Ergnoids and Space Noids? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are beginning our coverage of Volume 2, Mobile Suit Gundam, Advance of Zeta, Flag of Titans. Last volume, Conrad defended Elliot Hunter in court. He needed witnesses, so he tracked down his old friends, Carl Matsubara and Audrey April, to testify. Conrad is certain that he cleared Elliot's name for a few of his charges, but the trial isn't close to being over. In the past, they were up against Titans insurgents, and everyone is at a loss for who they were. This time, Conrad leaks information to journalists in the hopes to get the word out. In the past, a Federation comrade defects to the AU, and the Titans test team heads to the Earth sphere to get a new mobile suit. So let's get into this. February UC 0086. Rumors run rampant on the Aswan regarding the Titans insurgents. Carl and Elliot took great pride in being a Titan, so the fact that people would be rising up is foreign to them. Gonpla Island is near Side 6 and Side 1, but one cannot reach their location without a carrier or shuttle of the sorts. For the first time, it seems Elliot is questioning the Titans. Then Mechanic Pete mentions that they are sending over a Galbaldi Beta from Luna 2. Usually they would send the unit and leave it to the Titans test team to test it, but the Federation is sending one of their own people. Murphy introduces the team to Maxim Gunner. Murphy and Maxim happen to have fought alongside one another during the Delaz conflict. Maxim thanks the colony for supporting them in the rear during the colony incident. He's been helping out Basque's team. Apparently, he was a Titans recently until he was kicked out. Elliot still wonders what is up with the civilian shuttle and the Zanzibar. He also has so many questions about that day. He tells them that Zeon remnants are laying low because of the AUG, as they have moved from being a movement to an army. 16 hours later, both the Titans test team and the Federation team launches as they spot an unidentified ship approaching. Elliot heads out in the Hazel 2, but as he launches, suddenly the Galbaldi Beta launches as well without permission. July UC 0088. Conrad is talking to Hendrik about the legacy of the Gundam. The Titans test team, like Grips, were playing around with adding the legendary Gundam to their arsenal. But Gonpla Island's approach is different. They put a Gundam head on a gem. The power of adding a head did such tremendous psychological influence, as it helped draw out the Zeon remnants. Carl mentions that he didn't get to pilot a Gundam until later, unlike Murphy and Elliot. Murphy gained notoriety during the Battle of Solomon. Hendricks mentions that the Gundam development changed after the colony incident, but conflict with the AU went from minor to full-out war after the Gundam was stolen at Green Noah 1. This, of course, is talking about Camille and the Mark II. The team didn't even know about the mobile suit being stolen. After the AU started using the Hyakushiki, it was clear that the symbol that once belonged to the Federation now belongs to the AU. The Federation wanted to distance themselves from the Gundam image, which is why development on Gonpla Island changed. Of course, the Titans test team were oblivious to all of this at the time. Conrad wants to know about the type of Gundams being developed at Gonpla Island. That is when Joanna gets a phone call, and she tells them to call back on a secure line. They are investigators with regards to the people who broke into Conrad's home last volume. It appears the two intruders are federal soldiers named Kelly Brown and Thomas Tyler, and are stationed here at Nevada base. Their commander is named Jeffrey Portman. Conrad seems to know him. Portman was once stationed on the moon and is known to be more Space-Noid-leaning while detesting the Titans. He was under Commodore Milkov. There's a direct line to the person in charge of the court-martial. Conrad is certain that they are after Audrey and Hendrik, but is uncertain if this is an order from above or someone acting on their own. They wonder if they even have a chance. They're still working with some journalists to leak info and decide to leak the names of these soldiers. Even if the Federation controls all of the media on Earth, which they don't, they can't possibly control the flow of information from the colonies. Conrad doesn't think Milkov has anything to do with this. It's probably all Portman's doing. February UC 0086. The Titans test team is told to capture the Galbaldi Beta. This is specifically the high mobility type. The RMS 117 Galbaldi Beta high mobility type is a prototype mobile suit. It mounts the booster pod that is also on the Hazel with the help of the unit's hardpoints, which makes it a high mobility type. This also equips a 240mm cannon and 3-tube missile pod. It has an apogee binder and can optionally mount a disc radome system, which helps in high Minovsky particle density. It has the machine gun Kai, which is a reverse-engineered version of Zeon's 120mm machine gun. Other weapons include a beam saber, a beam rifle similar to the Gelgoogs, an extendable shield with a missile launcher, and the smart beam gun that will later be used by the Zeku Eins. Carl has the opportunity to shoot it down right now, but they have to capture it. They pick up a signal from the unidentified vessel saying they are 7 minutes out. It seems someone stole the unit and is fleeing to the ship. The Galbaldi will most likely have to use all of its propellant to adjust its course with the ship. He reaches out to the pilot It happens to be Maxim. He says that he isn't returning to a Titans-controlled EFF. Elliot realizes the unidentified ship is an AUG vessel. He tells him to turn back. Elliot still has a clear shot. Maxim fires at Elliot, causing Carl to fire at him. The Garibaldi dodges, but it tries to use as little propellant as possible. Elliot calls the AUG terrorists, but Maxim states that it is the Titans who are the terrorists. He says that he experienced it himself. He doesn't know what experience Maxim is referring to. UC-0088. Joanna has passed intel onto the journalists. Now they just have to wait for someone to pick up their stories. They wonder if the journalists will work fast enough, as the court-martials are moving fast. Conrad trusts in the judicial system to fix it, but the others aren't confident. They look at him awkward, going, "You just told us every reason why not to trust them. Why are you trusting them?" A Ryu Kidishima is talking to his editor, Michael Chang. He tells him about the story regarding Conrad. He doesn't seem interested in the drama of the court-martial, but instantly becomes interested once he learns that it involves a Gundam pilot. The name of the game at this tabloid is Sensationalism Over Journalism, or articles about the Gundam sells newspapers. But when he hears that Elliot is a part of the Titans, he starts to lose interest. He wants to run the story as an attempt by the Federation to silence the Gundam pilots. They want to erase the fact that the Titans created and operated the Gundam. Not only that, they want to erase the memory of the disgraceful past where the Earth Federation forces were controlled by the Titans. They are afraid that their exploits with tinkering with the Gundam will get out to the public. The Gundams created on Green Noah 1 were created by Anaheim Electronics. Ryo believes that some kind of deal happened between Anaheim Electronics and the Federation that made EFF halt their Gundam production on Konpei Island. Something similar seemed to have happened with AE after the Delaz conflict as well. Ryu says that it isn't a story about the Gundam. This is about collusion between Anaheim Electronics and EFF. The editor tells him to have a first draft on his desk ASAP. UC-0086. Elliot was aware that the AUG was gaining considerable power. However, the AUG was still a new force. There shouldn't have been enough time to groom Maxim as a spy. They brought the Garibaldi with them for testing. So this is all not adding up for Elliot, as Murphy and Maxim were former comrades. He has remained silent since Maxim defected. March, UC-0087. 1 year has passed. The AUG have only gained more support since Maxim defected. Everyone on the Aswan gathered in front of the TV broadcasting the news. There's a battle happening at the L3 point, where both Side 7 and Luna 2 are located. They realize the fight with the AUG are no longer small insurgencies. They are full-scale wars. Carl believes that since the AUG are backed by corporations, they are just corporate shills trying to help the rich control the world. Elliot seems to believe the same thing. They get called into a briefing. Everyone is tense as they are about to get dragged into war. Many, I'm sure, are still recovering from their one-year war PTSD. Some cut the tension by joking around, as they know this briefing is going to involve war. Captain Otto Peterson comes into the briefing room. He tells the team that they are leaving Konpei Island and heading towards Earth's satellite orbit. There, they will receive parts for a new mobile armor. They will also help fortify Earth's defenses. He says to prepare for battle in low Earth orbit. While they head to Earth, the GRIPS defense team is heading to Luna 2 to fortify the asteroid. However, everyone still has one lingering question. What was the direct reason for the Titans and the AUG starting the fight? Unfortunately, Captain Peterson did not provide an answer to the immediate question. They still don't know about the Colony 30 incident. They notice that the AUG are using green Gem 2s. Even though there are differences between the Gem 2 and the Nemo, the Titans can't see that difference. After the briefing, they continue watching the news as the GRIPS team goes into action. Audrey comes up and says she knows the cause of the GRIPS incident. She heard news on the internet that it is because the AUG stole a new mobile suit being developed by GRIPS. Elliot learns that even GRIPS has been developing Gundams. He wonders if Maxim Gunner knew about the Gundam. Maybe he was the reason they were able to steal it. That makes Elliot spiral and wonder if he could have stopped the theft of the Mark II if he simply stopped Maxim. He feels like a new one-year war is upon them. They make it to Earth's satellite orbit and receive a briefing from Murphy. The next operation will be using the Fiver. He says that this unit is the only support that they will need. They're confused by what this new unit is. They later realize that the TR-5 is so big that they have to assemble it outside of the Aswan. The ORX-005 Gaplant TR-5 Fiver is a heavy assault variant of the Gaplant TR-5. The base machine of the Fiber is a Gaplant with new sensors installed and the beam cannons removed. 2 defensive binders are attached to the backpack unit and the Gaplant's arms. This is designed for precision drop missions, and this unit can effectively drop down and do a bombing run all on its own. Each binder can also carry 1 escort mobile suit. This unit has an I-field generator. Weapons include a diffuse beam cannon, a long blade rifle, and a booster shield. Elliot is amazed by the sight of the unit. And that will do it for this episode. Elliot witnessed the AU going from a rumor in the halls of the Aswan to a full-on conflict. Like many test units of the past, they go from testing mobile suits during peacetime to doing live testings during wartime. Elliot is constantly wondering what's going on in the past. Come on, dude, you're so close to figuring it out. Next time the tabloids will write a piece on the incident, and it will affect the trial greatly. In the past, the Titans test team protect the Aswan and the Izmir, and we catch up with Zola and the Zeon remnants. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, sometimes it takes you a while to realize that you are the baddies. Peace.